Today we're ranking Magic the Gathering tutors on a tier list. This is going to be maybe one of the more broken tier lists that we've ever had, because tutoring things are busted. It basically creates consistency. Some things tutor cards on top of your deck, some cards tutor things into your hand, and some of them tutor things into play, like Whir of Invention, the blue X with Improvise, which means your artifacts can help cast this spell. We all know how easy it is to just blurt out a bunch of stupid artifacts. So it's like Convoke, but for artifacts. Search a library for an artifact card with convert a mana cost X or less, put it directly onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. Insane card. Yeah, I really don't have much to say. I think the artifact decks abuse this better than Convoke, and as a result, it's pretty high. You know, I'd make this S tier, except we're gonna see some crazy S tier cards today. So probably the S tier is gonna be really clogged up. I'm gonna give this a really solid A tier. Of course, there's a lot of great artifacts you can go find between Clan Ironworks, prison pieces, go get your Trinispheres, go get your, I don't know, Voltaic Key, Grimmonel. I'm not sure what you need at this point. You've convoked this damn thing into play. Okay, Chenfred with Ristic Tutor. That sounds actually like a bat. You know, when I hear the word Ristic, the only Ristic that makes sense is Ristic Study, and everything else is terrible. We got a black 2 generic sorcery. Unless any player pays 2, search a library for a card and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. So this has got to be worth something, though, right? Like, it can't be just complete dead nothing. But, like, everyone has to be tapped out. And it only goes into your hand. You're not even tutoring anything onto the battlefield. All right, I am going to put this at a solid C for crap. It's like playable under some niche circumstances. I could be wrong, but you know what? I don't feel safe with these situational cards. And by the way, who the hell is tapped out these days? Everyone has mana. Somebody has mana up. There's got to be some control player not tapping out, because they never do that. Okay, Tommy says, stop trying to make fetch lands happen. It's not going to happen. Are you trying to say fetch lands? It's like polluted delta. This will represent all the fetch. Let's get the OG. The OG? Is there a fetch land that has... Hold on, let's go Windswept Heath. Windswept Heath. I think... Yeah, I knew there was an animal here, but I guess this isn't that much better than the other ones. Arguably one of the best tutors in the game. We don't really look at this card like a tutor. And by the way, anything that puts a card, like anything that searches your library, puts cards in play into your hand on top of your library, it's all going to count as a tutor. It doesn't actually, it doesn't actually have to say that it has tutor on it. One of the best tutors in the game can find you tri-lands, can find you, these days they can find other nonsense, like those lands that, if you have like 3 mountains, the land comes into play untapped and you get like a Dwarven Miner of some sort. I don't remember the names to all these cards. Anyway, Windswept Heath. It could be A tier. I mean, this represents all the fetch lands, but I'll put it S tier. We all know they're banned in Pioneer, for crying out loud. They're banned in Pioneer. We got a super chat from Balder. Oh, thank you so much for your super chat. I believe you have mentioned nothing, though, unless you did mention something. We'll donate your super chat to King Ginger, who usually super chats. Mystical Tutor. King Ginger gets a break today. Oh yes, the blue instant. Search your library for an instant or sorcery card. Reveal that card. Shuffle your library and put that card on top. Also can help find other tutors to find exactly what you want. This card. Okay, well, I mean, I can't really speak that much to Commander, because no, you know what? I sometimes Mystical Tutor Paradigm Shift on top of my deck. Paradigm Shift is a card, swaps your, I think, your deck with your graveyard, and I try to play Thassa's Oracle and win. Yeah. Otherwise, in Cube, I am searching for Time Walk. I am looking for Ancestral Recall. Sometimes you look for Time Twister. All the good stuff. All the good stuff. Mystical Tutor. Broken! S tier. It's only 1 mana and it's instant speed. Instant speed is a good cost. Now, it is the worst. Honestly, it is the worst of all the tutors in that it puts on top of your library and not into your hand, not onto the battlefield. But, you know, whatever. It's not like you can put an instant or sorcery on the battlefield in the first place. Bread with Asmorano. Markadasta Kuldakar. Do you even spell it right? I think you added an extra. I think you doubled the name down there. Okay, we've got a 3/3 human wizard. As long as you've discarded a card this turn, you can pay Rakdos to cast it. Sorry, red or a black to cast the spell. When Azmarano Mardukadasana Kuldakar enters the battlefield, you can search your library for a card named the Underworld Cookbook, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. The Underworld Cookbook, very frustrating card. You tap it and discard a card to make a food. But as Morano says, sack 2 foods, and you can just basically a creature deals 6 damage to itself. Nothing survives that. All right, nothing. Unless you're playing those, like, I don't know, 5 mana. Sorry, not 5 mana. Like 10 mana Leviathans. The Leviathans can survive Azmarano. Azmarano is a strong card, but actually not completely broken. It's a little convoluted. You do have to discard a card to get her online. She is B tier. Not broken. Just very good value. And you might run out of cards making food anyway. Is Academy Rector a tutor? Academy Rector. Oh, I was thinking of a different Rector. Okay, we got a white 3 generic, 1/2 cleric. When Academy Rector is put into a graveyard from play, you may remove Academy Rector from the game. If you do, search your library for an enchantment card, put it into play, then shuffle your library. I may not understand the full potential of this card. I played against a deck with this thing in Legacy. I don't remember how it worked. Like, they sacked the creature. When they could get the creature sacked, I like lost on the spot, but I don't remember how. What is the combo? A tutor's into play, but you do need to, a Rector needs to die. And if the Academy Rector doesn't die, then you don't get to tutor. And there was an awkward game I had where they just had this 1/2 in play, but they couldn't attack, like they couldn't block. They basically had a 4 mana 1/2 in play. That's the combo. Tutor in Omniscience. But then what are you going to do about it? You need to, what, Time Twister to get it online? Okay. Academy Rector. You tutor into play, but you're a little clunky. You're a little clunky. I'm going to put you in the A tier. You're not that, but you, some assembly required for that combo. Easily, some assembly required. Alpha Nerd! With Glittering Wish. One of the more undervalued, underrated wishes. It's a white-green sorcery. Reveal a multicolored card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. Exile Glittering Wish. If I understand correctly, do these cards work in Commander? They work in competitive play, and it's multicolored. So it's not like, you know how like they're all specific to instant, sorcery, creature, enchantment? Well, this can be literally anything, but it needs to be one or more colors. Which, I mean, if you're already splashing another color, it's not going to be too bad. Hey, have you ever heard of 5 color piles? Well, the competitive players and the Commander players can relate. There's 5 color everything these days. It's not banned. Not banned anywhere. You can see the ban list right here. Come on. Legal all over. Does not work in Commander. All right, so you don't have a sideboard? Well, the deal is, apparently in casual play, someone showed me the rule. In casual play, outside the game means like anything, like your trade binder. But within a competitive Magic where you have your sideboard, outside the game means only your sideboard. Works in Commander with house rules. All right, for that, it is not nearly as strong as the other tutors because it's not legal everywhere. But it's a good tutor. It's a good one. It's it puts it directly into your hand. It's instant speed. It's cheap. It's only 2 mana. I'm gonna give it the A tier treatment. Very nice tutor. Very nice. Is that, hold on, Arena Rector? Is that what I was thinking? Hold on, did we just do this one? Or is this a different one? Hold on, there was the Academy Rector, and now this is the Oh, I was up against the Arena Rector, not the Academy Rector. When it dies, you may exile it. If you do, search your library for a Planeswalker card, put it onto the battlefield. That's how I got destroyed, because they looked up Ugin, and I was stone cold dead. Same playability as the Academy Rector, some assembly required, but strong card, can GG the game when you pull off the tutoring ability. Tutoring in play is busted. Tutoring in play is absolutely busted. Rated Lex. Gamble, how much do you want that card discarded? Well, the deal is with Gamble, you generally play it in a deck that doesn't care if it goes to the graveyard. Like, if you're a deck with Life from the Loam and you want to just tutor out a land to go get your Tabernacle, either the land went in your hand or went to the graveyard, you can go get it back. Or maybe you need to gamble, I don't know. I don't think any dredge decks play this card, but the deal is you tutor up a land, you don't mind going to the graveyard in the first place. However, so it's a little bit more of a niche tutoring card. Oh, another deck that likes this card, the Goblin Engineer decks. So you go tutor up an artifact you need, goes to the graveyard, okay, who cares? I just engineer it back onto the battlefield. Exchange my soul ring for this beautiful painter servant. Or what's the painter's grindstone. Beautiful grindstone. Anyway, gamble. It's a good tutor. It's a good tutor. It's not clunky either. It's a little bit more narrow, but I think it's an A-class tutor. Okay, next, we do have super chats to get through. A Boulder! What do you got for us, Boulder, today? My pet card, Vargoth! The something. Vargoth Blood Sky Shire. Is it 2 R's? It's 2 R's. Okay, we have a black 2 generic 2/3 Demon Rogue with Death Touch, but it's got Boast. So black 1 generic, target player searches their library for a card, shuffles their library, and put that card on top. That is weird. So this is literally just a tutor on a creature. What's the downside? Activate this ability only if only if a creature attacked this turn and only once each turn. Target player. You can also give it to somebody else too. You need a card? Okay, you can tutor your deck for whatever the hell you want. Target player searches their library. And you have to put it on top, so it doesn't go directly in your hand. A lot of assembly required, but it does come with a 2/3 Death Touch creature. Oh, hold on. Is it on the battlefield? Boast. Target player, activate this ability only if a creature attacked this turn. Oh, so it needs to be in play. A lot of assembly required. B tier. It's not terrible, though. It looks repeatable, which actually looks great. Not a creature. You have to search the library for a card. This is a creature. What are you talking about? It's a 2/3 Demon Rogue. You people are trolling me. I'm getting trolled here. Canty with incoming. This is a bull crap card. Come on. These aren't real cards. Jaded Green Sun Zenith. We have unglued videos for a reason. Green Sun Zenith, green, X, sorcery, search your library for a green creature card with mana value X or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Shuffle a Green Sun Zenith into its owner's library, so you're never going to run out of Green Sun Zeniths. This is not really the most impressive tutor of them all, but it's the thing that puts it over the top is you can find a Dryad Arbor on turn 1. So it's effectively like a mana dork. Because this has, like, you can just go green, pay for 0. Dryad Arbor has mana value of 0, and you put it directly onto the battlefield. So at its worst, it's turn 1 mana dork. At its best, you put, I don't know, well, not Primeval Titan. This card's banned in a lot of formats, but, it's banned in one format. You tutor out anything you want onto the battlefield. I think this card is very good. Not supremely broken, but very good utility. A tier. It's good stuff. It does tutor. Maybe this should be an S tier card. I take it back. This is an S tier. This is too good. It does it's as expensive or as cheap as you want. It works on all parts of the curve. It is restricted. It is restricted to only green creatures, but like you're a green deck, so who cares? But it puts it directly onto the battlefield, which I think is the most broken of, all the ability, of anything anything a tutor can do. Most broken is always putting it directly onto the battlefield. That's why Prime Time is a tutor. Prime Time of a tutor itself. Okay, let's go to Primeval Titan. It tutors for 2 things. Okay, we have a green 4 generic. Did anyone super chat Primeval Titan, by the way? Okay, nobody did. Good. Primeval Titan, green 4 generic, 6/6 trampler. None of this stuff really matters. The part that is really juicy is when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. I mean, the 6/6 trampler, that's not bad. Like, that's a sweetener. But it's the tutoring up the lands part that is great. What lands did you guys search up when Primeval Titan was legal? In Modern, okay, in Legacy, it finds Cloudpost lands. In Modern, it looks up Valakuts, it looks up, my brain is stuck at the moment. Because I don't know all the Karoo lands. Actually, you know what? There's a lot of lands in Modern. I don't know what the names are. I just know what they do to me. They give this thing double strike, haste, a lot of evil stuff. S tier card. They were right to ban it in Commander. Still at a fine power level for Modern, though. Very fine power level. Very, very strong. And it's 2 lands, not even 1! And it gets out of... Those lands are basically spells or a win condition in itself. Okay, I got Super Chat. Let's go. We gotta go to Platonic. Bringer of the Black... The Bringers! I didn't even know this one was a tutor. Okay, we got 9 mana, 5/5. You can pay Wooburg to play it. So, okay, that's fine. So, it's a 5 mana card. Trample. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 2 life. You do search your library for a card, shuffle your library, and put that card on top. That's insane. It's every turn, and it's only for 2 life. This seems like a very underrated card. Like, it doesn't look like it's worthy of being $1. Is it like, if you're a Wooburg deck, like, it's not hard to play this. It's 5 mana for a 5/5 Trampler that you can tutor every turn, and it's any card. Vampiric Tutor, I actually think this is grossly underrated. Does anyone know this card exists? This looks like it should be a staple in every Wooburg deck, or maybe not everyone wants to play. I think it's A tier worthy. I don't think the casting cost is insane. I think the upside for it living every turn is pretty high. Xavier. Xavier! The Commander Tutor, Rocco, Cabaretti Caterer. Rocco. Ah, yes, the Chef. We got a white, green, red X for a 3/1 Elf Druid. When Rocco, Cabaretti Caterer, enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you may search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less. Put it onto the battlefield again, and then shuffle. Okay, so they're a 3/1 with X, so it's just like creature plus tutor, but it's a bit clunky. It's a little bit clunky. Like, you're spending a lot of mana to just get this 3/1 in play, but it can be your commander, so you actually get to tutor over and over again if you have enough mana. Okay, we need more mana. There's not enough mana in this game. Rocco, for a creature card with mana value X or less, and it can be any creature. Put on the battlefield, then shuffle. I think it's just a little clunky, but it's very playable. I'm gonna put in the B tier. Just a smidge clunky, and of course, if this is your commander and they die, then, well, it's just gonna be more expensive. You're not gonna be tutoring out many great things with this thing. Will Anderson with Step Through. Oh, that's a new one, isn't it? The blue 3 generic sorcery. Return 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. Does anyone play that side of it? I think the golden part is the wizard cycling. Discard this card, search your library for a wizard card. I wonder what wizard people look for. You know? I wonder what could possibly be a wizard that you want to get in this game. Are any playable wizards out there? Anyway, wizard cycling for 2, discard a card. And that's at instant speed, right? Yeah, you could do it at the end of your opponent's turn. They won't see it coming. They thought you were holding up counter magic, and then they realize you're just comboing off. Doors open both ways. It is a super narrow tutor, though. I think it is only for Thassa's Oracle decks. So it's pretty restricted. I'm going to give it B tier. It's a bit clunky, but it does put it into your hand, which is not too bad. If anyone looked at this picture, does people know this is Step Through? There's like nothing identifiable on this art. There's nothing I could do. Oh, there is a person over here. Oh, well. Okay, we got next super chat. We got King Ginger, Marlin of the Morn Song. I can tell this is probably one of your commanders. Whenever you guys name me like a legendary card, It's got to be your commander. You have to have a commander deck out of it. The black 1 generic 2/3 elf wizards. Players can draw cards. However, at the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life, searches his or her library for a card, puts it into their hand, and shuffles their library. This is a little bit of a jank tutor. It is good at what it does. It is a combo piece, because if you have what's it called? Notion Thief? No, not Notion Thief. The anti-searching, when your opponent searches their deck, you search it for them. And I think there's some other cards that combo with Marlin or whatever. Scheming Symmetry might also... Oh, no, that's... You're suggesting this card. Opposition Agent is what I was thinking of. Opposition Agent. Basically, screw with their tutors. So this is a card without comboing, some assembly required, but still a pretty good card in its own right. Like, that combo is a hard lock, and you will win the game from it, so I'm going to put in the B tier. Okay, let's look at... You all know who Opposition Agent is. Okay, let's look up Scheming Symmetry from Rye. Scheming. The Symmetry. Black Sorcery. Choose 2 target players. Each of them searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts that card on top. So you're not the only one getting something. Your opponent also gets something. However, there are ways of destroying your opponent with this. Like, if you can at least mill the top card of your opponent's library, then they get nothing. They get absolutely nothing. And it is a 1-mana black tutor. I think it's good. I think it's good. Also, in a 4-player game, you can target someone who's not going to be able to interact with you when you tutor for your combo. I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to make this an A tier tutor. Great tutor. Has Nikachu never heard of Legendary Matters? I have no idea what that is. No, I have not. Stormwind Diabolic Tutor. Do we have a diabolic here? This sounds very diabolic, this sound effect. Is fun for enter graveyard effects. Is it? It's just a black 2 generic sorcery. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand. It's fun for enter graveyard effects. I think you're thinking of some other tutor. This is just a lame tutor. This is it's 4 mana, put it in your hand. You know what? I don't even think 4 mana put in your hand is even that good. Is Diabolic Tutor CEDH playable? It's weird. 4 mana? That's a lot of mana. You're basically taking a turn off to get your card. Not interacting with the board. So I actually think that is a C tier type card. Oh, he's thinking of Diabolic Intent. Okay, let's go with Diabolic Intent then. Diabolic Intent. Okay, you get 2 super chats, all right? You basically you accidentally got 2 super chats in one. We got a black 1 generic sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature. Search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle. Also, okay, this card is definitely miles above the other one, and of course, if you can make use of the creatures that you sacrifice, it's good. But some assembly required. I think this is slightly better than the other one because it just costs less mana. Less mana intensive, so B tier. Valerio! Sylvan Tutor. It is a green. A sorcery. Search your library for a creature card. Reveal it to shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. Sadly, not the most powerful of all the tutors. It's weird. Tutoring for a creature is not as insane as, you know, looking up instants, enchant. Well, I don't know. Maybe enchantments is even clunky, or artifacts or anything like that. But still a great tutor. You know, I'm not going to argue. 1 mana, get exactly the creature that you need. Nothing wrong with that. Definitely. I don't want to say all, like, this is, I don't know how highly played this is. Okay, do you know what's $50? All right, I'm wrong. I guess it is highly, highly, highly played. Tutor for 1 mana, can't go wrong there. That's a good deal. That's good value. Okay, Zach. Who do you got for Zach? Jaheira's Respite. Jaheira's Respite. It's green, 4 generic instant. Search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of creatures attacking you. Put those cards on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. It's not bad. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Very situational. However, you can almost guarantee that you are going to get attacked, like, somewhere in the game. But it's 5 mana. You can only look... Actually, do you know what I don't like? It's only basic land, so it's just ramp. I think this is just a weird, janky ramp card. I'm going to put it into the C tier. Janky ramp card. Like, you will ramp. It will do that. But just for basic lands. I saw something here. Fair it is with Treefolk Harbinger. The green 0/3 Treefolk Druid. When Treefolk Harbinger comes into play, you may search your library for a Treefolk or a Forest card. Reveal, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. You can get any forest. You can fix your mana. So it can, like, I guess, smooth out your draws. This is only going to be good in a very specific Treefolk deck of some sort. Card's a little bit bizarre. You know what? This card could go up in value if they make, like, more Treefolk stuff, like more relevant Treefolk stuff. But at the moment, I think this is just a very underwhelming tutor overall. It can't even get you very exciting lands because it has to be, like, just a forest card. I guess you could get Dryad Arbor or something, but it's going to be had Summoning Sickness or something. Okay, we got Abe. What do you got for us, Abe? The best design Magic card of all time. Urza's? What are you talking about? My absolute favorite card. I'm actually starting to play with this card myself. I've turned around to the Urza's Saga. I've gone to the dark side because it's only dark in Modern these days. And this card is wild. Like, isn't this just a staple to almost any deck that can play it? Is there a commander deck that cannot play this card? Because it literally just tutors out Soul Ring. Chapter 1, it's an enchantment land. Chapter 1, it adds colorless mana. Or Chapter 2, pay 2, tap it. You get a construct that has +1/+1 for each artifact in play under your control. And then pay 3, Chapter 3, search your library for an artifact card with mana value exactly 0 or 1, generic. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So, like, worst case scenario, this is like... I mean, you can get better than Soul Ring if you want, if you're even more greedy on mana. It's a whole... it attacks. You know, it protects, and most importantly... I can't think of anything with tutoring and protect that rhymes, but that's okay. This card is wildly broken. It's actually just stone cold broken. And yeah, it tutors directly into play. There's a lot of great things you can tutor for. Pithing Needle, Soul Ring. You can get Moxen, Black Lotus in Vintage. There's a highly played card in Vintage. Highly played. The whole format basically revolves around Urza's Saga now. It's probably going to get restricted. You go get a Haywire Might, Expedition Map, Shadow Spear. The list goes on. What do you guys get with Urza's Saga? Just something... If there was a tier above S tier, this definitely would... Urza's Saga would definitely go in it. Anyway, this is a wild card. And not banned anywhere. It's even more wild. Jonathan with Merchant Scroll. The simple but great cards. Merchant Scroll. What's the first? It was from Homelands. It's old. The older value of Merchant Scroll is in... older value in Homelands is probably in Merchant Scroll. Blue 1 generic sorcery. Search your library for a blue instant or interrupt, which has been errated to just blue instant. Reveal that card and put it into your hand. You know what I usually get? I usually Merchant Scroll for Mystical Tutor to go find the sorcery that I need. So it doesn't find sorceries, but it can find Mystical Tutor, which can do it for you. I'm sorry, there's a lot of good sorceries out there anyway. Merchant Scroll. I don't know where I'd put this. Because it can chain into several cards, I am actually inclined to move this into the S tier category. Because there's a lot of good instants. I'm not sure. Maybe it's it should be A tier because it's a little clunky. It's a little clunky, but not too terrible. All the value in Homelands is in Merchant Scroll. Best thing I've heard today. And it's true? Actually, I'm not sure. It's $4. Find me a Homelands card that's higher than that. You won't. Challenge. Impossible. All right, we heard the music, so that's why we are going to thank today's sponsor, the same as every other day, FusionGamingOnline.com. The first place I go to get all my either Commander, Modern, or Legacy cards. Deal of the week this week. Save up to 20% off select Commander singles. If you're looking for your... Everyone needs their... What is it called? Not Swift Food Boots. What is this card? Shroud Haste. It's not a very competitive card. But Commander players absolutely love this damn thing. Creature has Shroud. It's broken. And you can get them at fusiongamingonline.com. 20% off. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu for an additional 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And you can play, it's cheap because you can play many decks at the same time. It's a ban list saver because you don't want to sweat those ban lists. You're afraid of your cards getting banned. You just let Mana Traders get their cards banned. And they get banned, you send them back. Send their banned cards back and rent new ones. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_XQJ. XQJ, people. All right, back to tutors. Broken tutors. We all love our broken tutors. I love broken tutors. Okay, I have a lot of super chats to get through. Jacob, you got first, Jacob. The Auric Lore Mage. Auric. Okay, we got 4-mana creature. It's a 3/3 human warlock. Tap, search your library for a card. Put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. If it's an instant or sorcery card, put a +1/+1 counter on Auric Lore Mage. This is really clunky value. I can imagine the only cards you can really want to put in your graveyard are ones with flashback, which is fine. But I don't know if there's any broken flashback cards you can really abuse. Maybe just Past in Flames, that's it. But this doesn't really look like a Past in Flames. This doesn't look like a Past in Flames type of deck. It doesn't look like a Past in Flames type of commander. So I would say, I might be underestimating it, but it goes directly into your graveyard. C tier. It's not the worst. It's Entomb on a stick. All right, for that, I'll put it in the B tier. You convinced me with that one word. No, but it's not Entomb on a stick. It's Entomb gets creatures. This is only instants and sorceries. Oh, it can anything. And if it's an instant or sorcery, all right, we're upgrading it. B tier. Still a little chunky. It got something called Summoning Sickness. It'll slow it down, if you know what I mean. Sean, what do you got for us, Sean? You meant Beseech the Mirror? No, I have not. The new win condition of Vintage, Legacy. Is it making waves in Commander as well? I can only assume so. Black, 1 generic sorcery. Bargain, you may sack an artifact, enchantment, or token as you cast the spell. Search your library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. If the spell was bargained, you may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost. This is like, what is even the point of the first part? Search for a card, search your library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. Everybody can sack like an artifact. Anyone who's playing like a Beseech the Mirror is playing artifacts, and it's not even much of a cost. It should have been sack an artifact and pay an extra 3 mana or some crap like that. Beseech is absolutely busted. It doesn't even cost a whole lot. It looks like it costs a lot of mana, but it really isn't. Not at least for the Storm decks. So you can cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost, and if that spell's mana value is 4 or less, put the exiled card into your hand if it wasn't cast this way. Really weird. I don't know how to evaluate this card. Every broken deck plays this. But I don't see how it's any more insane than the other tutors. Oh, but I'll give it the S tier. I sort of want to give it A tier because it's sort of specific. It needs to be like a somewhat storm-based deck. Maybe that's not true. But a deck with artifacts. Will is like land tax. Okay, it's you're not wrong. It's a white enchantment at the beginning of your upkeep. If an opponent controls more lands than you, which is pretty easy to do, especially if you go last. Like, no one's gonna put lands in play. So this is a card you do not want to have on the play. You want to go second, third, or fourth. You may search your library for up to 3 basic land cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Now, like, you don't have to play those lands. You could use them as discard fodder. You could thin your deck. You people love thinning your deck. Well, you're gonna thin your deck like crazy with land tax. It's just more basic. Get all of them basics out. Hold on, let's get the iconic guy. The greasy landlord looking guy. Greasy. I think this is an A tier card. I think it's underrepresented. It's underplayed. Very good card. Very good value for what. It's like 1 mana and just, you can, Anyway, gotta make sure you make use of those lands. As a discard or brainstorm or some random crap. Next super chat, we've got... Otaku! Magda is GOAT. Magda is GOAT. Red 1 generic 2/1 dwarf berserker. Other dwarves you can control get +1/+0. Is this like an S tier commander? I can't tell. Like, I got wiped off the floor with this card not too long ago. Pacers fan forever. Thanks so much for becoming a member of the Coffee crew. Welcome. Sacrifice 5 treasures. Search your library for an artifact card or a dragon card. Put that card on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. If I remember correctly, I got crushed by Phyrexian Portal or something like that. Phyrexian... Is that what it was? No, it was that like 9 mana artifact. I think it's 9 mana. Enters the battlefield. Each opponent sacks 3 creatures, and then every turn they can put a creature card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under their control. Just destroyed me. Destroyed everyone else. Yes, one of us now. You're green, and you got the little Nikachu MTG colored symbol next to you. Anyway, based on my one game I've had against Magda, I thought she was broken. I thought she was insane. She doesn't, and then when they make more dwarves, she'll get even better. I think this is an S. She's still a creature. Whenever a dwarf you control becomes tap, create a treasure token. I have to put her in the A tier. Like, there's nothing guaranteed about this card. If she dies, she dies. Magda is unbelievably broken. It's a win con in my Rashmi and Ragavan deck. You have Ragavan as a commander? What are you, nuts? I guess it can be, whatever. Booster Tutor is not a real card. We're gonna only look up real cards today. Frownton! We got first Frownton. Demonic Tutor. If this gets stolen, Grim Tutor. It did get stolen. It's good to have a backup when you oops, Grim Tutor. When you super chat, you gotta have a backup card. Sniping happens around here. Black 1 generic sorcery. Search your library for a card. Put that card in your hand. Then shuffle your library. You lose 3 life. It's like Demonic Tutor. It's in that range of Demonic Tutor. Very clunky. It takes up a lot of mana. Does put it into your hand, which is convenient, which is good. Oh, maybe it was Planar Portal that I was thinking of. Was it Planar Portal? Okay, so we're gonna put this. I think it's a C. I think it's too expensive. Once you spend 3 or more mana on your tutor, if it puts it into the play, I think it's fine. But putting it into your hand, maybe a little too slow. I might be undervaluing this card. Losing 3 life, like, who cares? Like, you intend on winning the game, right? It's nothing. It's nothing to you guys. Oh, I was thinking of Portal to Phyrexia. Is that a tutor, by the way? Portal to Phyrexia. Yeah, that's a card. Enters the battlefield, sack. Not technically a tutor, but that's what killed me with Magda. Magda destroyed me with that card. Was not happy. And we all died to our own creatures. How are silver border cards fake when I can buy... You can buy a lot of things. Try playing them in tournaments. Kylie! Word of Invention. We did that one. It was a great one. Definitely, what did I put? S tier? No, I put A tier. Here, it's over here. That's the Word of Invention. Islarf with Arkham Dagson. Tinker on a Stick. It can cheat Portal out too. Okay, we have a blue 3 generic 2/2 human artificer. Tap. Target artifacts controller. Target artifact creatures controller sacrifices it. So that's very specific. That player may search their library for a non-creature artifact card, put onto the battlefield, then shuffle their library. So they're sacking creature artifacts to turn them into, like, I don't know, other artifacts? Hopefully they don't feel pain. Anyway, I think this is a little bit dirtily. Again, creature that you have to wait till next turn to activate because of summoning sickness. Very specifically, you have to sacrifice a artifact creature to get something else out. Of course, there are broken artifacts you can get out there, but I will put it in the B tier. Next super chat is, oh, yo little Ted with the birthing pod. The Wrath of the Birthing Pod. Interestingly, it sees no play in Legacy. So a Phyrexian 3 generic. It's an artifact. Pay a green Phyrexian 1 generic. Tap. Sack a creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost. Equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. The idea is you can combo kill with this card in multiple ways. Ideally, you're sacking creatures with Persist or Undying so that they come back onto the battlefield while still searching up something directly onto the battlefield. Really strong card, a bit clunky, can pay a lot of life. If you're too low on life, Birthing Pod is not very useful to you because you'll just put yourself closer and closer in range of dying, but very, very strong card. Tutors directly onto the battlefield. Do not underestimate that. Also, don't underestimate that you can sometimes, so what's the combo kill? It's like you sack a 1-drop into, not Thought Monitor, Hull Monitor, I think it is, and it untaps the Birthing Pod. Then you can sack the Monitor for a 3-mana card that brings the Monitor back from the graveyard back to the battlefield or something like that. I don't remember. Used to know these combos off by heart because everyone's paranoid of this card getting unbanned in Modern. Only banned in Modern. Don't take it off the ban list. Or I don't know, maybe it's Modern is quite wild at the moment. Quiet Speculation from Poxy. Blue 1 generic sorcery. Search target player's library for up to 3 cards with flashback and put them into that player's graveyard. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Clunky! Very clunky. I have no idea. I guess for the right combo deck, this could be playable. Because, like, what you're going to get Past in Flames and 2 other cards with flashback. I guess it's maybe it's a little bit better than I think it is. Also, if you have Sapphire Medallion, it's not really going to cost 2 mana. It's going to cost 1 mana. If it's double blue, this would be harder to cast, but of course, the deck playing Storm is going to be playing with cost reducers, so Quiet Speculation maybe is a lot better than I think. It's basically Ancestral Recall. It's a weird, awkward Ancestral Recall. The Jaded with Survival of the Fittest. Green 1 generic enchantment. Pay a green, discard a creature card. Search your library for a creature card, reveal that card, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library. It's banned. I don't remember why it's banned in Legacy. This seems a little clunky to me. You discard. I don't think it's that. It's good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, this card's great. Like, you're discarding a creature card to look for another creature card. It puts in your hand. It's pretty cheap, but you do have to have the upfront cost of putting the enchantment onto the battlefield. Easy. A tier. I could be wrong. Maybe this is S tier worthy. Could be S tier worthy. Okay, well, let's get through some more super chats because I love the super chatters. Pacers fan forever. Love super chatting. Also loves becoming a member. Razaketh. The Foul-Blooded. This is insanely expensive. 8 mana for an 8/8 flying trample. Pay 2 life. Sacrifice another creature. Search through your library for a card. Put that card into your hand, then shuffle. But how do you even get this card in play in the first place? It's a good tutor, don't get me wrong, but I think this is insanely expensive. See, for costs too much. All this stuff has one thing in common. Costs too much, except this one. This one's cheap and just gets nothing. Valueless. King Ginger. Natural Order. My favorite win con in my Toski deck. It's also the favorite win con of Elves players, yeah, just basically Elves players. Green 2 generic sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Natural Order, sack a green creature. So if you're a green creature out there, you be wary. Search your library for a green creature card, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. You usually get Crater Hoof. You can also get, actually these days, people use these in the most absurd decks. They're actually getting Atraxa these days. Like, this is wild because it has that little bit of green in it. So you Natural Order out an Atraxa, basically refill your hand worth of cards. It's just wild. So for just that interaction alone, this card is supremely busted. Sadly. I think, yeah, I'm gonna put it into the S tier. That's just too strong. Way too strong. Okay, who hasn't got a super chat yet today? The Soul Dragon. I don't know if I got anything. The Imperial Recruiter. The Recruiter, red 2 generic 1/1 human advisor. Enters the battlefield, search your library for a creature card with power 2 or less, reveal it and put it into your hand. This turns out to be actually pretty clunky. It's a really clunky card. It used to be super expensive because like the supply on this card was almost nothing. It's a cool card in cube. Like it's a fine card, but you're basically taking a turn off. It's like that demonic not that demonic the tutor. This one, you like spend 3 mana, pay 2 life to go get something. This is a little bit better. It's a creature, so it can at least block. If you're playing a human deck, you might get some like bonus value out of it. But overall, pretty clunky card, and not very valuable. Does not even see a whole lot of competitive play. I would say in casual, I think it's overrated. I'm going straight to the C tier. It's fine. Like, it's a card. It's fine as a random tutor if you need it in your deck. It's not really broken, though. I don't know how many broken decks play Imperial Recruiter. Okay, let's get through some of these super chats because there's a lot of them. Alpha Nerd. Lesson cards can be wished for in Commander. You didn't give me a lesson card, but thank you for letting us know. We're going to do... Imperial Recruiter has only one use, Painter Servant. There we go. See? Only one use. We need more uses than that. Valerio, Imperial... did I get one from you? I got one from you already. Oh, whatever. Okay, Imperial Seal. It's literally sorcery speed vampiric tutor, right? Black sorcery, search your library for a card, put it on top, you lose 2 life. I really am not going to say that much about this. It's weird that the black, like, vampiric tutors, the black tutors were just ridiculously more broken than the other ones. So all the other ones, they have to get something specific. They have to get a creature, enchantment, an instant sorcery. Black says, get whatever you want. Whatever. You're the most powerful. You're the most powerful color in all of Magic the Gathering. And at the cost, you just got to lose 2 life. It's 1 mana, get anything. Does have to go on top of your library, but, you know, 1 is a good cost. Easy S tier. Sea Hunter! Hold on, what the hell? Yeah, this is the Merfolk tutor. Blue, 2 generic for a 2/2. Sea Hunter. Pay 3, tap, search your library for a Merfolk card and put that card into play, then shuffle your library. I actually play with this card. I'm removing it. It's like, it's just so clunky. And it usually dies. And if it doesn't die, I'm not really making good use of this card anyway, but it's okay. We're in the C tier. This is interesting. We have no D tier cards yet. I don't know, maybe this card should be in the D tier. This card's pretty sad. Here, we'll put the Sea Hunter to replace it. Pacers fan forever. Eladimri's Call. Didn't we do that one? I swear we did that one. We did Eladimri's Call. That's the, yeah, we did that one. Search your library. Oh, no, we didn't do that. We did the multicolored one. Yeah, we oh, man. Oh, we'll skip this one. We have a green-white instant. Search your library for a creature card. Reveal that card. Put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library. Great card. A little expensive. Doesn't tutor directly onto the battlefield. But you know what? The price is right at 2 mana. Easy A tier card. Very, very strong. Very, very nice tutor. Looks for creatures, which is like a little bit more lukewarm in power level than other tutor targets. We got Barbara. I'm late today. It has Invasion of Ikoria. Invasion. It has not been done yet. I didn't know this card tutors. Enters the battlefield, search your library and/or graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value X or less. Put onto the battlefield. Then, if you search your library this way, you shuffle. What's the other side? It's not like the worst, but it's not great either. It's an 8/8 reacher. For each non-human creature you control, you may have that creature assigned its combat damage, though it weren't blocked. Weird. How much work do I want to do? So it's a tutor for... This is interesting. It's a tutor for a creature onto the battlefield. And it's a battle. So you actually can make something come out to, like, attack. I don't know how to evaluate this card. It's like somewhere between A and B. But I've never seen it in competitive play, so I'm just going to give it B. But, like, the front half's not bad. Like, the front half looks great. Enters a search your library and/or you can get something from the graveyard, too. And it has to be a non-human. Oh, big whoop. With mana value X or less and put onto the battlefield. So this is, like, it's actually pretty strong. I think it's actually all right. It's underused. You're probably right. Next super chat. Pacers fan forever. Trying to squeeze in them super chats. Zerolin of the Claw. Five mana, 3 for Viashino Shaman. I thought it was a dragon. Red, 1 generic. Tap, search your library for a dragon permanent card. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. That dragon gains haste until end of turn. At end of turn, at the beginning of the next end step, you must exile it. It's okay. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Sea Hunter. Here, they can be friends down here. Here, Sea Hunter can be friends with this guy. And I'll move on. I have super chats to get through. We got to get through all them super chats. Pattern of Rebirth. The green 3 generic aura. Since when it was an aura tutor? Enchant creature. When enchant creature dies, that creature's controller may search their library for a creature card, put that card onto the battlefield, and shuffle their library. Actually, some assembly required, but pretty. So it's like it's almost like Academy Rector, but for a creature that you put the aura on. So it's like you have to 2-for-1 yourself. Is that worth it? And it's got to be a creature card. But it's not bad. It can be interacted with removal spells. Okay, the fact that it can be interacted with removal spells, I think this makes it a little bit more, like, really clunky. So I'm going to put it into the C tier range. But I definitely could see this card really going over the top. Like, I could definitely see this card actually winning. Allie with Entomb. It's funny, we talked about Entomb a lot today. But we didn't talk about, like, we talk about Entomb-like cards. Oh, this card is like an Entomb on a stick. This card does an Entomb-like thing. And then this is the actual Entomb. Instant. Search your library for a card. Put that card into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. Great for the Reanimator decks. I'm sure there's other decks that can make use of this card as well, so long as you can make use of the card into the graveyard. And it's any card, remember. Doesn't need to be a creature. It can be anything you want. Don't get Emrakul, though. She gets shuffled back into the library. S tier! Very, very strong card. Played in all the busted decks. Interestingly enough, perfectly legal in Vintage. Entomb is busted. Christopher B with something a little bit more fair around here. Muddle the Mixture. How strong do you guys think this card is? So it's like a lukewarm counterspell for a blue, because it's an instant, counter target instant or sorcery spell. A little underwhelming there. But you can transmute it. But you have to transmute it at sorcery speed. This card, search your library for a card with the same converted mana cost as this card. You know what you can get? You can get Thassa's Oracle. You can get the Merchant Scroll, okay? A Merchant Scroll can find the other tutors. Mystical Tutor, for example. So it's, I don't know what else you go get with this card that's relevant. I don't know, I guess you can also get Mana Drain, but then you have to show it to everybody and it's like, oh, they got Mana Drain over there. No, I was like, I don't know, it seems okay. Like, it is I think it's effectively like extra copies of Thassa's Oracle for the Thassa's Oracle decks. Because I don't think you look for anything else regularly with this. Tolaria West has Transmute. It does have Transmute. What does that mean? You want to go get... Okay, I will put it in the B territory. This is a pretty common staple in EDH. Pretty common staple of EDH, just for the tutoring ability. Give you consistency for some of your 2-drops. What did we just talk about? Tolaria West. So this is like, moves up a little bit. Enters the so it's a land, if you need mana. But you can also transmute it for 3 mana. Go find a 0-drop. Go find your artifact mana. Go find your Summoner's Pact. Your Pact of Negation. Whatever the hell that you need to defend yourself. or attack and combo off to your opponent. A lot of grade 0 drops out there. You can also look for Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt is 0 mana out there. Tolera West for your pack. Yeah, exactly. Very, very strong card. A staple. A little clunky, but you do look for a 0 mana card. The upside is you look for a 0 mana card, which makes it a little easier. So it's going to be A tier. So it's basically 3 mana tutor for a card that you will play for free. That is a pretty good price. Spectral Maniac. Pattern of Rebirth. Saying it's clunky. Clunky, but busted. Oh, you got sniped, Spectral Maniac. I'm so sorry. Also, clunky and can be, yes, under the right circumstances, busted. So we will donate your super chat to... Who has got nothing today? Did Steve Cooper, did we get anything from you today? I don't know. Maybe nothing for free. Illicit shipment. Can search for 2 things. With black, 3 generic sorcery. Search the library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. But casualty 3, as you cast this spell. You can sack a creature with power 3 or greater. When you do, copy the spell. But you gotta sack 2 creatures. And it's 5 mana. I don't like this card. 2 thumbs down. I don't know if it's like Tree Folk Harbinger worthy, but I'm putting the D tier. I just don't think that's worth it. 5 mana to get 2 cards and you sack 2 creatures? Oh no, hold on, no, you sack 1 creature. You only have to, but it has to be a big creature. It can't be your crappy creature. It's got to be a big one. Okay, next super chat, we are going to Abe. Bottom of the tier list is looking pretty empty. Let's try Assembly Hall. Let's try Assembly Hall. Why don't we? It is the 5 generic artifact. Pay 4, tap, reveal a creature card in your hand. Search your library for a copy of that card, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library. You're right. You're right. You're looking for a card that you already have. We're gonna get one of those big eyes. Also completely useless in Commander. Only 1 card. Only 1 card. Oh no, that's not true. Sorry. You can play with like Apostle's Blessing. I can't remember. One of those cards. Okay, next up we've got... Okay, we can get a... Let's get a freebie here. Philippe! Welcome, Philippe. Ranger Captain of EOS. The recruit of EOS and Recruit of the Guard. You only got 1. Don't be greedy around here. Okay, white, 1 generic, 3/3 human soldier. It's a good one. Enters the battlefield. You can search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost 1 or less. By the way, that means 0 drops. Walking Ballista, Hangerback Walker. Ornithopter. I don't know who's getting Ornithopter. Usually Walking Ballista is what they look for. Put it in your hand, then shuffle. Okay, so it tutors. It's a 3/3 creature, and guess this. Guess what? There's more. Sack it, and your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn. So it protects you versus combo decks on the turn that you want to combo. Or it even protects you from a board wipe. It's like, that player has the board wipe over there. All right, at your upkeep, I'm going to sack this Ranger Captain of EOS. No board wipes, please. So the tutoring is amazing. Tutor out Walking Ballista. And for that, you are an A-tier card Ranger Captain. You are the captain of the Rangers, I guess. Does tutoring graveyard count? You mean like look through your graveyard for a card and put it in your hand? No. I don't think so. Okay, let's go through more super chats. Azaya with land grant. How do I evaluate this card? This was a good card back in the day. Green 1 generic sorcery. If you have no land cards in your hand, reveal your hand instead of paying land grants mana cost. So it's like, you know, it's like the Once Upon a Time of the time. Search your library for a forest card and put that card in your hand, then shuffle your library. So it can still look through your deck for a forest card to put into your hand. If you have no cards, it's weird because this card could just be, you know, a land. Because what you just want. It's such a weird card. What is the purpose? I think it was to enable Threshold or something at the time. Very weird tutor. Anyway, if anyone knows any strategic purpose for this card today, let me know. Otherwise, it's going into the C tier. Straight to C tier territory. Okay, Matt, what is this weird card you're suggesting? Mon-Fri. I don't know how to pronounce this. Magic card names, I have no idea how to pronounce for 200, Alex. The Beast Tracker? There is a Beast Tracker. Alright, for 3 mana, we have a 2/1 Human Scout. Enter the battlefield, search your library for a creature card with Death Touch, Hexproof, Reach, or Trample, reveal it. Shuffle your library and put that card on top. So it's like... reminds me of Eternal Witness, but it's a tutor. So it's a little bit worse than Eternal Witness. I mean, Eternal Witness is actually a little bit better because it's like strictly card advantage. This is not. It's just a tutor put on top of your library. A little bit clunky, but it's really not that bad. No, hold on. The downside is you can only look for Death Touch, Hexproof, Reach, or Trample, which is still sort of wide, but not anything. You know what I mean? I don't know how to evaluate this card. Is it as strong as Morano? I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to put in the C tier. Next super chat is Yo Little Ted. Stoneforge Mystic. Does this card mean Squad in Commander? It has seen competitive play beyond Magic the Gathering's 1-versus-1 history. The white 1 generic 1/2 core artificer enters the battlefield. Search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. And you don't even have to cast the card. You can go find Batterskull, Cauldron Complete. People have looked for swords. What's it called? Umezawa's Jite Hammer, Colossus Hammer. You can pay a white 1 generic tap, put an equipment card from your hand directly onto the battlefield, smash your opponent within no time flat. It would seem like it's a commander card, except you can only have 1 copy, which is awkward. Gotta use all those other cards that search for creatures to make Stoneforge Mystic useful. It's hard for me to give it S tier territory, though. It's a very strong card. Yeah, I have to give this S tier. Like, it's just too competitively relevant to not give Stoneforge Mystic S tier status. Just too good. I've gotten hammered time to buy this. Oh, me too! NWC, Sharkon's Triumph. Or Sarkon. Sarkon. Did he triumph? Sarkon's Trip? Do I know how to spell Sarkon? Do either of us know how to spell Sarkon? Where's this Triumph? There it is. 3 mana! We found it. Look for a dragon card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Very boring, but very good for the dragon players. Very expensive, very clunky. C tier. Okay, so C tier. These are like old cards that tutor, but a very clunky way. C for clunky. There we go. C for clunky. That's why this guy's not in the C territory, because it's not clunky. This Treefolk Harbinger, it's just bad. That's all. Iris with Sliver Overlord. The Overlord. 5 mana, 7/7. Search your library for a Sliver card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Also pay 3, gain control of target Sliver. That's weird. Can you turn other things into Slivers? I guess you get a Changeling out and say everything is, or not a Changeling. There are some cards that say all cards in play are the certain creature type. Very clunky card, but very strong. If you have 5 mana for your Sliver Overlord, you obviously have 3 mana to go search for any Sliver. You can cast most of them. I mean, for 6 mana, you can basically tutor out any Sliver and play it. B tier. Okay, time for Super Chat Central. Platonic Liquid with Kaito Shizuki. Oh, I totally forgot this card exists. We have a black-blue 1 generic Kaito Planeswalker, 3 loyalty. At the beginning of your end step, if Kaito entered the battlefield this turn, he phases out. You can +1, draw a card, then discard a card unless you attack this turn. And -2, create a 1/1 blue ninja creature token with this creature can't be blocked. And also -7, you get an emblem. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a blue or black creature card, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. I think this card is undervalued, underrated. The problem is, like, most decks that want to play Planeswalkers, they don't have a whole lot of creatures in them. And, I can't remember, was this a good... Maybe this wasn't a good creature Planeswalker. Draw a card, then discard a card. Oh, yeah, unless you attack this turn. So it works better with creature decks. If only it was a little bit more interactive. Anyway, I think this card has... I think this card should be B tier, but at the moment of... at the time of making this tier list, it's a C tier card. Hasn't been broken yet. Still looking for its home. It's got no home. Someone give it a home. Oh my god, I have so many super chats. Okay, I have to crank through all these things, or we're going to be here for till tomorrow. We've got Jacob Thune. It's really fun to copy Wishclaw Talisman. We mean copy it with Prototype Portal. Everyone gets a monkey paw. That's wild. Okay, Wishclaw Talisman, black, 1 generic artifact. Enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters. Pay 1, tap, remove a wish counter from Wishclaw Talisman, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. An opponent gains control of Wishclaw Talisman. Activate this ability only during your turn. This card's downfall is sometimes... So, it's like a tutor, but you can interact with it. Null Rod, Collector Oof, Pithing Needle. If you know it's coming, then you can shut it down. Also, you better win the moment you tutor for something, because your opponent also gets a card. But it's still very strong tutor, A tier. Oh, we're gonna get squished. Oh yeah, we're gonna go deep into overtime. Mario! The Mario? Kellen the Fey-Blooded. The Fey? Fairy's named Kellen. It is a fairy. It's a human fairy. What happens when a fairy gets together with a human being? You get Kellen. Okay, it's a 2/2 for 3 mana. Now it's got Birthright Boon, a white 1 generic sorcery. Search the library for an aura and equipment card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. That is great! I think that's a great cash money play. So you have a 2 mana tutor, which is fine. It puts directly into your hand, and also it's a creature with double strike. Other creatures you control with +1/+0 for each aura and equipment attached to Kellen. Oh, so we put stuff on Kellen, and then everyone else gets bigger. Otherwise, it's a 3 mana 2/2 creature. This actually looks crazy. I've never seen this card get played before, but it looks like it's at least B tier. It looks like it could be A tier, though. Hold on, let me reread this. It's an aura. The problem is what it tutors for is only auras and equipment, and it only has to go into your hand. Like, there's great equipment out there, but it's all clunky. It's like really, you know, like the sword, you gotta pay 3 mana, you gotta pay another 2 mana attached to it. When are we gonna get swords that are 1 mana and equipped for 0? When are those coming? Yeah, Fire Design strikes again. Tutors on the humans. Next super chat, Tyler. Sorry, we're in the super chat sequel of this part of the show. Demonic Consultation. One black mana. Name a card. Remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game, and hope that the card isn't there. Reveal cards on the top of your library until the revealed name. Until you reveal the named card. Put the card in your hand. Remove all other cards this way from the game. And funny enough, you don't even need to name a card that you're looking for. This is an S tier tutor. You can tell based on how banned and restricted this thing is. Yeah, restricted in Vintage, banned in Legacy. Completely legal in Modern. Oh, sorry, in Commander. Because you can only have 1 anyway. So it's automatically restricted. Alpha Nerd with Vampiric Tutor. It's funny, we didn't do Vampiric Tutor. It's going to be in the same vein as this card. You look for any card put on top of your library. You don't put it into your hand, but you also don't risk the card getting dumpstered into oblivion. So Vampiric Tutor is going to be an S tier tutor. 1 mana, instant speed. You can't go wrong with that. Tyler, wait, Masterminds Acquisition or Imperial Recruiter? We did Imperial Recruiter, so we can do Masterminds Acquisition. 4 mana, choose 1, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Or you could choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. So this is just Demonic Tutor most of the time. A demonic tutor with some weird upside in one-on-one magic, or with house rules, you can make some better use out of this thing. Clunky though, very clunky. I'll give it the big clunky picture for the C tier. King Ginger, bribery is fun in Commander. Bribery is fun in Commander, isn't it? Bribery. Search target opponent's library for a creature card and put that card onto the battlefield under your control. That player shuffles. It is very clunky. It does tutor directly onto the battlefield. You don't guarantee that you're going to get anything good because it may not have any synergy with your deck. So it is, and it's also, yeah, it's just like a more of a clunky fun card. It's not terrible though. Well, let's get a more recognizable. Let's get the masks version. There we go. This big doofus here. I want the big doofus. Easy to be bribed. Jedi mind tricks work against this guy. We'll give it B tier. This is more of a funsy. It's like a really powerful funsy card. That's how I would enable. That's how I would call bribery. It's like really strong, but really only for fun. Next super chat is Planar Bridge by Platonic Liquid. The 6-mana legendary artifact. Pay 8. Tap. Search your library for a permanent card. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. This looks like it's insane. But you do need infinite mana. But I'm assuming you have it already if you're playing the Planar Bridge in your deck. Search your library for a permanent card. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. It's so clunky. If you have infinite mana, there's so many different ways you could win. Searching library for a permanent card isn't even the most exciting. I guess what you could do is search your library for like Voltaic Key, then untap your Planar Bridge and search up something else. Anyway, okay, Planar Bridge. I'm gonna give it B tier. I think it's a bit too clunky. It also doesn't look like, I don't know how it wins the game. Show gonna go for, I know this show is gonna go on for free. Well, okay, if this show is going on for 2 hours, let's get some let's get some freebies on here. Nothing but cold. I didn't see you get a suggestion in today. Reckless handling. We got a 2-mana sorcery. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Then discard a card at random. If an artifact card was discarded this way, reckless handling deals 2 damage to each opponent. Why do the opponents? You're the one handling it. You have to do, so it's basically gamble. It's a second version of gamble. Weird. I like the picture. This picture is great. Well, actually, it can only be an artifact card. This makes it way more restrictive. But it's 2 mana. I'll give it the B tier. It's cheap. Look, Gamble's a pretty good card. You know, even if you're discarding a card at random, you just make sure you discard something that you're willing to throw into the absolute dumpster. All right, next super chat is from the Fountain. Shadowborn Apostle. What? Oh yeah, if you have enough of them, you can go get your Raznet with your something black 1/1. You can have as many Shadowborn Apostles in your deck. Pay a black, sack 6 of them. Search your library for a demon creature card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. This card is ridiculously janky. This is jank as hell. Like, this is like really fairy tale. This is some fairy tale crap that you're gonna get 6 of these things on the battlefield. And like, what's the best demon you can even get? Can't even get Grizzlebrand. It's banned. Can't even get old banned Grizzlebrand. Pacers fan forever with Recruiter of the Guard. This one sounds loud. Okay, we got Recruiter of the Guard, 1 white, 2 generic for a 1/1 human soldier. Enters the battlefield. You may search your library for a creature card with toughness 2 or less, reveal it and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So it's the same thing as like the Imperial Recruiter, same exact deal. It's a card that's fine, but it's very clunky. And that's the only problem with it. It's just a very clunky card. They could be right next to each other. There's the Imperial Recruiter here. Let's move stuff around. Imperial Recruiter and Recruiter of the Guard, they're buddies. They are buddies. I'm gonna squish the planar portal thing. Okay, King Ginger. Ristic tutor for the D tier slot. Are you sure? Oh no, we did that. We did that. Wasn't this like one of the first ones? Yeah, this was like one of the first ones that we did. All right, we're donating the super chat to the public. Who hasn't got anything yet? Nico with you happen upon a glade? This sounds like, what's it called? A Dungeons and Dragons card. Okay, it doesn't exist. Christopher B is just throwing tons of stuff out here. How about we give you a demand? Oh god, one of these cards. Okay, search your library for a multicolored card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. 3 mana? Clunky. Clunkaroony. I demand more mana-efficient tutors. Because basically what those do is it's like, I'm taking a turn off to play this card. That's what they all say. It's effectively what they all say. Boulder with the $1. I have no idea where that $1 is now. So I'm not even going to look. Which means I guess we have to donate it to the public. Okay, let's give one to... Kelduin, Cruel Tutor. Is that a real card? It says Tutor on it. Okay, it's black 2 generic. Search your deck for any card, shuffle your deck, and put that card on top of it. You lose 2 life. Again, a 3 mana tutor. There's a lot of tutors in here that never really... Whoa, that's $34! Oh, that's wild. It's even $31 on the list. For any card, shuffle your library and put that card on top. This is massively clunkier vampiric tutor. What are the black decks, desperate or something? It has to be a supply issue or something. I think this is crap. I'm putting it in the C tier. I don't care if it's $35. 3 mana for any card? F that. Never has been reprinted. No, it's been reprinted once. It's got, the list, people. The list! It's got the little symbol on the bottom. Oh, they kept the portal set symbol? That's lame. That's so sad. Okay, Defense of the Heart. Okay, I'm just cranking through these things. Defense of the Heart, 4 mana, enchantment. During your upkeep, if one of your opponents controls 3 or more creatures, sacrifice Defense of the Heart. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards. Put those creatures into play! What the hell? During your upkeep, if one of your opponents controls 3 or more creatures, you basically put... That's so easy to pull off! It's only if one of your opponents... Put those creatures in play, shuffle your library afterwards. This is insane. This actually just looks straight up broken. Am I missing something here? I guess it's hard. It's like, I guess it's just a very strong casual card. It has to be just like a really strong casual card. Not that competitive, because in competitive play, well, not everyone even plays with creatures out there. But what are the odds you're going to be up in a pod without anyone playing creatures? Okay, A tier. 2 creatures that go onto the battlefield. That's... And for nothing! You pay nothing for the damn thing. Okay, Isaiah. What do you got for me, Isaiah? Lay of the Land. We have a green sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card. Reveal it. Put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Just for a basic land? Put it in your hand, then shuffle. This is pathetic. This is not what I think about. Like, oh, I want to tutor out a basic land into my hand. This is D for draft chaff. Old draft chaff down here. Pacers fan forever. Crop rotation is a busted card. It is. Now this is like, it's not quite a fetch land, but it's like a fetch land for any land. Green instant. It's not. It's a fetch instant. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sack a land, search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. So you go look for your Mesa Ith, you look for your Dark Depths, you look for your Thespian Stage, your Tabernacles, or whatever. Insanely strong tutor. Like, lands are strong. Like, lands are basically spells in 2023. S tier. Directly onto the battlefield. Mario. With Invasion of Theros. Enter the battlefield, search your library for an aura, god, demigod, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. 3 mana. 3 mana for Clunk. Who are we going to take a picture of? Let's get a picture of this fine person over here. Okay, at 3 mana, it's just too much. It does have the upside of being one of those battles. That's about it. Oh, here's a popular one. Paco with Captain Sisse. I'm assuming this one. The one that 4 mana for a 2/2. Tap, search your library for a legend or legendary card, reveal that card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. How good is this? Search your library for a legend or legendary card, reveal that card. It seems very, very, very... It's like it doesn't cost any mana. You know what? I like this card. I like this card a lot. It does have summoning sickness, but the upside is insane. Oh no, but it only goes into your hand, then shuffle your library. Okay, so it's a little bit lower on power level than I thought. Captain Sisse is still a good card. Where'd Captain Sisse go? Captain Sisse! There we go. I'll put you in the B tier. It's possibly A tier worthy. Possibly A tier worthy. Nope, the other Sisse? Get out of here. The other one. Oh, this one's a huge tutor. 3 mana 2/2. Gets +1. Oh, this is... No. I was told specifically Captain Sisse. This is Captain Sisse. I'm moving on. You want the other Sisse? You got a super chat. Jacob! Jacob, save me, Jacob. We've got Avatar of Woe 903 wants Moon Silver Key. Some keys are tutors? Okay, we have a 2 mana artifact. Pay 1, tap, sack it. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value, mana ability, or a basic land card. Reveal it and put it in your hand, then shuffle. We search our library for an artifact with a mana ability or a basic land card. Reveal it. So basically look for mana. This is very underwhelming. The price is right, I'm not gonna lie, but draft card. D for draft. Thank you very much, Jacob Thune, for also supporting all of the supporting the coffee crew out there. Is Cascade just a limited tutor? You could also say it's a modern tutor as well. Okay, Crowcore Games with Ring Sight. What's it? Ring Sight tempts makes the creature legendary. Black, blue, 1 generic sorcery. The ring tempts you. Search your library for a card that shares a color with a legendary creature you control. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. I think this is very underwhelming. Very situational, too. What if you cast it and your opponent just kills the creature that you have in play? And you're not gonna find squat. Oh no, we're running out of room on the C tier. Oh no, look at this. You can see my tier list invention. Okay, Logan with Apex Devastator. Okay, just kidding. Ring Sight is the... Oh, this stupid card. Ring... That was just mentioned! You people just sniped each other back to... You didn't even snipe each other. This is like a super chat that sniped the other super chat. But it's too late. You can't snipe the person who goes first. So I gotta donate your super chat to the public. We're gonna donate to... Okay, Logan wants to change to Expedition map. This is a good card. It's a 1 mana, 2 generic artifact. Sack it, search your library for a land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. You also, Urza Saga can use this card. There's a lot of Urza Sagas decks out there. Like, you have to play with more Urza Sagas in your deck, but when you crack Urza Saga as a tutor, you get Expedition Map, then sack it to go find another Urza Saga and keep the loop going. It's an insane combo. Outside of that, this is a huge popular card amongst the Tron players out there. This is easy A tier territory. A tier card. Expedition Map. Polarity. Enter the infinite. Technically a tutor, is it? Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your library, then put a land from your hand on top of your library. Put a card from your hand on top of your library. You have no maximum hand size until your next turn. Honestly, I don't think this is a tutor. Unless it's like you're saying, well, I'm tutoring every card in my deck except one. Well, it doesn't feel very tutor-like. This is a big card draw spell. It's like the ultimate card draw spell. So I'm donating this super chat to... Okay, Turia is probably... I have a feeling Turayawat has been trying to get this enigmatic incarnation up here. 4 mana, enchantment at the beginning of your end step. If you may sack another enchantment. If you do, search your library for a creature card with a converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrificed enchant. The sacrificed enchantments convert mana cost, put that card onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. This is pretty good. Actually, there is a Pioneer deck just completely built around this card, and it blew me away. I didn't even know what the hell this was doing. Because, you know, there are some enchantments that are like, what's it called? Leyline Binding. It's like 6 mana. So you can sack your Leyline Binding and just get something insane, absolutely broken onto the battlefield. I was like, what is this card going to do? And then my opponent played a Leyline Binding, and I was like, yeah, I saw the true power of this card. It is a bit of a clunky deck. It would stand no chance against more powerful stuff, so I am going to give it B tier. Oh god, we are running out of room here. B tier. It's not bad. B tier. Not bad. C. Clunky. D. Draft. A. Awesome. S. Super busted. Okay, next up we've got Boulder, who didn't do anything. I guess is a donation to the coffee crew. So let's donate to... Nothing but cold. Would you consider a card like Jace's Ruse a tutor? Blue 3 generic sorcery. Return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hands. You may search your library and or graveyard for a card named Jace. Reveal it. Sorry, Jace, Arcane Strategist. Reveal it, put it in your hand. Search your library. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. Absolutely. You have the potential. Why does Jace have some ram horns on him? Very clunky and very looking for complete garbage. So, well, maybe not complete garbage, but very underwhelming Jace. D tier. And then King Ginger, Pattern Matcher? The hell is that? Art and flavor text are gold. Pattern Matcher. Sounds like some sort of seamstress or something. The Pattern Matcher. This has nothing to do. It's some mechanic. It's a golem holding a bunny. Okay, we have a 4 mana 3/3. Enters the battlefield. You may search your library for a card with the same name as another creature you control. Oh, okay. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Good. Now put it with the other Whittle bunnies. Oh, this sounds like something Bugs Bunny would say. Sorry, not Bugs Bunny, but Elmer Fudd would say. D tier. No, okay, hold on. We're not done. I know I've got at least like 1 or 2 more super chats left. Oh, we got Platonic Liquid. Platonic Liquid with possibly the very last super chat. I have to suggest Panglacial Worm. Does that work? For Poxy and memes? Panglacial Worm. But that's not, it's not a tutor. So, Trample, while searching your library, you may play Pang Glacial Worm from your library. It's technically not a tutor. Okay, I'm gonna give it. We're gonna donate the super chat to 1011011011011100. Any coders out there know what that means? Insidious Dreams. People could write something really naughty in these numbers. 4 mana instant. As an additional cost to cast Insidious Dreams, discard X cards from your hand. Oh god. Search your library for X cards. Then shuffle your library and put those cards on top of in any order. Sounds like greatness at any cost. That cost is too great. It's a very expensive card. You have to discard a lot of cards. Maybe it's worth C tier because in the right deck, you put cards in the graveyard that you don't care about putting cards in the graveyard. And that's it. All right. Look at our beautiful tier list. It's actually more diversified than I thought. I thought I should have made like several S tiers to make room for. I thought we'd have more S tier cards. Why didn't anyone mention Tinker? Where's Tinker? Tinker has to. I'm making my own suggestion. Tinker. I should have just started with this damn thing. This card is ubiquitous for being the most broken card in all of like Magic the Gathering tutors in history. Tutor artifacts onto the battlefield. It's so easy because the thing that makes this broken over the other cards that tutor things in play is that the artifacts cost 0 mana. There's tons of 0/1 mana artifacts you can tinker on turn 1 and put something disgusting onto the battlefield. And that's it. So much fun. Your first suggestion with Tinker, you have to fight harder, Toads. Fight harder. And that is the conclusion of Coffee and MTG today. And if you want to be part of Coffee and MTG, got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thanks to all the supporters, the patrons on Patreon, the members on YouTube. Thanks to Pacers Fan Forever becoming a member. And also everyone who super chats to be part of the show. And also we got to thank everybody who's here in the morning, like Jess, Nightly Cat, Toads Faster Than You, Samurott, Toads, Steve Cooper, Logan. We got the Jaded Balder. What else do we have here? We have Christopher B, Avatar of Woe. Swaza. Faster Than You, Jonathan. Platonic Liquid, Hawkston, King Ginger. Because without you guys, I'd have no show. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep bringing up them coffees, and we'll keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.